Welcome back. Now, let me say good morning to MFA joining us here. MFA, good morning again.
Good morning, Jay. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I was actually going to say you're looking good.
Thank you. You actually said I look like somebody who should be called Margaret.
Yes.
From typically,
back in the 16th century,
from Scotland.
17th century, lived in the 17th century. Margaret Smith Hutchinson.
Yeah.
One of those names.
Give me some tea.
Okay, so let's go into the papers now, starting from you.
Absolutely. I will start with the Ghanaian Times this morning. Some good news in front of the Ghanaian Times. Story would be on page 16 if you decide to get a copy of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Komenda sugar factory takes off in April. The president has been speaking and also overruling my decision unconstitutional. You would find that story on page 4 of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Yesterday, the Speaker of Parliament was all over in the news about.
I think it's about time. It's about time.
So
not being biased by politics in any way, but just what is the democracy. The people should be put, at the forefront, and that's why they are there in Parliament to take care of us.
Is this to say that if somebody's, what would make somebody arrive at the decision that somebody is not putting the people first?
Well, I mean, looking at the back and forth with what's happening in Parliament, I mean, it's greatly, taking a lot of politics, and then the political toll is having an effect on the people, and the indecisiveness or not coming to conclusions on many, pressing issues with governance is what is causing us in the state that we are in, and I think it isn't helping us. And for the first time, like you rightly said, we are having this hung Parliament. Not for the first time though, but. Is it for the first time? Yes, I think for the first time. Or
I confidently would say.
Yes, we're having this hung Parliament.
In a democracy, I confidently would say.
And look at where we are now. Decisions not coming to a conclusive, and it's caused a lot of. It's giving content to media to talk about, but the people, the grassroots, are the ones who are suffering.
Yesterday, did you hear the part where he said, "Shut up"?
Yes.
And then I was driving and I added, "Bend over."
The camera.
Imagine what he said. Imagine he said, "Shut up." Then you find all the members of Parliament added and bend over, and they bent over in Parliament. I'm sure he would call the marshal.
You just started a challenge, and I'm very sure somebody will cut the piece and we work this out on social media very soon.
Oh gosh!
But the camera didn't capture who was being asked to shut up. Like that would have been another one.
So yesterday he was trying to explain the fact that in Parliament there's always total silence everywhere. I mean, really, when the Speaker is speaking, because really it's more very specific.
I mean, he's the third president. He's the third gentleman of the land.
Yes. What says the Constitution? Yes.
It carries that weight.
And so, I mean, if not for anything, for the fact that he spent so many years in Parliament and he knows how much to give reverence to speakers of Parliament, he just feels that he's mostly being disrespected, especially when he's talking. There's meeting among meetings, people murmuring. And yesterday, I'm sure he just had it up to here. People have been asking whether or not the word "shut up" was right for him to do. But I mean, people have to interpret words in their very meaning until there's ambiguity.
In Ghana, nonsense is an insult.
Shut up
is an insult.
Oh, right.
Silly.
Shut up means just keep quiet.
Silly is also a big insult. How can you look at somebody and say, you're being silly? Hey,
it's
in
not
Ghana,
an insult.
You are dead. You will do. Like you tell your teacher that, teacher, this is absolute nonsense. Hey,
gosh.
Hey.
Teacher. No, not in Ghana. Anyway, so
I don't know Diana. What was that? Who said Chia? Even Chia was a problem. Even Chia was a problem. How much more? Shut up.
Jay, you just shut me up.
Who said Chia?
So here's what the Lands Minister has been saying. He says that the Lands Minister fumes at $4 million donation by the Ghana Chamber of Mines. I mean, he thinks that the amount is very insignificant. Considering how much that particular industry makes. He thinks that the $4 billion donation to the PTA fund is very, very insignificant. I'm trying to measure how much $4 million looks.
4 million? Actually,
million.
It's four, not billion, but million.
Yeah, a million.
No, that's small.
Not in Ghana cedis.
No, that's
dollars.
Small. It's a small.
Dollars.
The whole community? That's small.
Donation, not a fine.
What?
Donation.
To donate $4 million?
Yeah, they've donated $4 million.
But that's small.
They're not even donated.
No, I mean, we can do better than that, I think.
First of all, let's go to the baseline.
Do you know how much? The thing is that you need to understand. You see, do you know how much mining in itself. Oil.
agree.
Do you know how much revenue it generates?
What has that got to do
Do you know
with
the kind
morals?
of profit? Do you know the kind of profit margins that this generates to some of these companies? So this is the same. The locals in that area, who have been heavily and gravely affected by things like this. We are going to go back to these places. I'm very sure they even engage workers and all them to cut down their costs and all these things.
$4 million
If such
in
tragedy
Ghana cedis will be how much?
That's pittance, MFR. That is tiny money, trust me. $4 million, it's nothing. People are blowing that money on 3 flights around the world and come back to me. $4 million, it's nothing. I feel that honestly, I stand in
with the
agreement
Lance Minister?
Yes, on charging these firms to do better than that. MFR, $4 million. I mean, how much are some of? I can't even say this on national television though, but. How much are some of these?
How much is too much money?
Look, one of these mining companies can actually rebuild the whole of Apiat. I'm telling you, easy does it.
I was thinking that he shouldn't be fuming. He should actually be,
Let's not look at it from the average Ghanaian's lifestyle point of view to see $4 million. $4 million.
First of all, you don't even.
It wouldn't even pay all the NABCO. Those haven't been paid in 6 months. $4 million. It's nothing. It's peanuts. I mean, I don't have $4 million, but I think it's peanuts.
How much do you have? Let's see what we can work around.
To work with my bank balance?
Yeah, like one that can make me want to put my hand around your head.
I mean, we should be talking like over 50, just to be able to, because you see, if you look at
the taxes and all of that.
No, let's not look at taxes going back to, because the thing is that how much tax is even generated.
$4 million in
how much tax is even generated from the people of the party themselves to help the community? How many of them there even work to pay taxes? You understand? So the companies that are there that have been given these gold mine concessions to be able to mine their minerals.
The Lance Minister himself, how much did he donate? The last time I saw
he was 20,000 cedis.
20,000 cedis.
Yeah, but that's just an individual. We're talking these multinationals. These are multinationals.
Ghana Chamber of Mines Day.
Yes.
By Ghana Chamber of Mines. Ghana Chamber of Mines.
I think they can do better.
The international. It's not a.
I think they can do better. I think they can do better.
Okay.
Mishaps and hazards happen just once in a while.
What's
when
in
they
front
happen,
of the daily guide?
Shut up and bend over.
There's no bend over.
Well, let me say good morning to Esinam. Esinam, good morning. How are you doing? We just can't wait to have you here one of these days as a guest on the show.
Yes.
Pull hair.
Profile interview. Okay, Jay. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Yeah.
Well, let me go into Daily Graphic newspaper as well. Plain spoken engagement. Council of State meets minority. Consensus building high on agenda. While the Standing Committee of the Council of State has met with the leadership of the minority group in Parliament to address recent developments in parliamentary affairs. The full story here on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Do more for Apiati, and that'll be my campaign slogan for when I'm standing for.
But that time Apiati would have been rebuilt.
Yes, and I'm hoping also. In as much as I stand for this, I'm hoping that when the redevelopment of Apiat is done, we should see a modern, lifestyle, well-developed place, modern housing, all the facilities, hospitals, and this recreating jobs for the people in the area, and for the first time, maybe not for the first time, but the people in the area benefiting heavily from the fact that all these companies have been given concessions to work in that area, because these are villages, they are towns, and I can imagine what kind of lifestyle is, what is available to them in terms of health, health facilities and all these other things, school facilities and all education. So we should look out for a new Apiati, and Apiati should be the new Apiati should be how do you call it?
Particularly know where that community is, but I'm trying to see what else as a country can also benefit from them. Like what other resources are there? If there's so much development, to whom much is given.
Well, Dubai builds land on sea. We should build sea on the land over there.
Okay.
Speaker expresses disapproval over deputy's ruling. It's on page 18 here. And then lastly, Komenda Sugar Factory acquires 20,000 acres for plantation. And that's for the Daily Graphic newspaper. Emifa?
The Daily Guide this morning as well. Ex-Maslog boss sureties summoned. Madam Sedinam Tamaklo, former Maslog boss, has been standing trial for causing financial loss to the state. And for some time now, she hasn't been in the country. And so each time her case has been called in court, she's unable to appear. And so yesterday, the Attorney General actually filed that her sureties... What's going on with you?
I'm just checking the Komenda Sugar Factory story as well, but I mean...
Okay.
Yeah.
So yesterday, the Attorney General filed... You have a very sinister smile on your face. What's...
It's an insult.
Sinister?
This is an insult.
You have...
my integrity.
So yesterday, so as I said, the Attorney General actually filed that her sureties... I know that one of the sureties is Mr. Alex Mold, but the second person, I'm not too sure, that the court should summon them so that they're able to answer questions on the whereabouts of Madam Sedna Tambaklo. That's the update on the Maslock case. And also, if you didn't know about the Shut Up case or the Shut Up story, it's on page 3 of the Daily Guide this morning as angry Bagbin backs at MPs. The video is somewhere, I think it's on our social media. You can, by now, if you haven't joined us on our Twitter page, our Instagram page, Facebook, please do also join us at Joy Prime TV or tweet at us #Prime Morning. And a prison guard fires gun in court. So this one, so this headline is not entirely accurate because it's not that he fired gun accidentally. I think the gun, when the gun is ready to be fired, it got clocked and
well, it's cocked.
So cocked.
Yeah.
Cocked.
Yeah.
It's not clocked there.
Clock. Well, there's a C, there's a C, there's a
C, and there's a K,
there's
or
an
something.
oct in there
something
somewhere,
in there. So I think it already, I'm not sure what word it is. It's actually, it's accidentally, you know. So actually his leg, he got injured in his leg. So this it's not that he fired the gun in court. That's not entirely. If you want to understand the story is on page 6.
Yes, it's actually cocking.
Cock.
Yeah, cock.
Sounds like, so.
Sounds like a chicken.
Yeah, it's a chicken. So it is on page 6 of the Daily Guide this morning, and the story of Komenda Sugar Factory bounces back in April is on page 9 of the Daily Guide this morning. I just will quickly go to the center spread of the Daily Guide this morning as Kelvin Boy is in the center spread of the Daily Guide this morning as he's been granted bail. And I actually got an update that he on his Instagram page that he's in Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, I think immediately after he was granted the bail of 200,000 Ghana cedis on allegations of he beating up his baby mama. We're here to get the details, but he's been granted bail. But it's got nothing to do with how much I love his new jam. Yeah, the new jam. That song is just so a good one.
What would be the implications? Because I know in most part of the world, like people would have banned his his music or blocked his account.
R. Kelly.
Yes, well, he's in jail.
But his music, what's happening to it?
So YouTube pulled down his official page, his channel on YouTube. Some of the music platforms as well, the digital stores also blocked access to his music. He's lost a lot of deals on there. It's just, just a few platforms that have R. Kelly music. But I mean, like I'm saying, it is the act that he got himself involved in.
But is it true?
Yes, it is true. It's been proven. I mean, it's been proven in court. Well, I cannot speak for it, but it's been proven in court. And yes, and Kelvin Boy, I mean, for him, is such a thing, for touching a woman, for abusing a woman or violently, beating up your baby mama. I don't think it's the best of things you can do, regardless how angry you are as a man. But maybe one of these times on the show, we should also discuss a reversal, abuse of men by women.
It's not that we don't talk about it. Of course we talk about it, except that it's not very common, and so we don't give it much attention.
My friends beat me.
I can only work with reported data.
Female friends have been beating me.
Your female friends have been saying you have more than $4 million and you're not inviting us to go and spend it with you.
Yes. But when a woman is beating a man, it's taking his money. when women spend it's when that's an abuse.
I mean, I don't know. When I heard the story, I didn't pay attention to because such stories can really go. It settles in your subconscious, and when you see that person, you have a certain.
I mean, I totally condemn the actions of Kelvin Boy on this.
His music was just doing so well.
Yeah.
Why would he want to do that?
And from the story we picked up on Instagram, shared by a colleague very close to the baby mama, says that this has been going on for a very long time.
Oh, no way.
And
no way.
you know, it's payback time to him.
No way.
You know, they have 2 kids, and but I mean, we'll see. We'll try and get a developing story, you know, as the days come by. But something else.
I'm impressed that the girl is being able to take up the case, and then this has been reported. Okay. All right then. So Miss Bill celebrates Kofi Amwal being. Was it yesterday or a day before? Yesterday, one of the days. 2 days ago, he celebrated his 70th birthday. 70th birthday, and that man is so much evergreen. There's a story of one Hassan Zain's lawyer winning an injunction case against A+. I'm not too sure of the story, but if you're interested, it's on page 8 of the Daily Guide this morning.
I think it's on grounds of defamation. I think I caught something a couple of days back, but.
I'll grab a read, and if I get the opportunity, I'll update you.
Okay, let me move quickly to the new crusading guide as well. So Koda completes 129 infrastructural projects. The CEO speaking there. Government reviving the Komenda sugar factory. The president also on this. And Lands Minister dissatisfied with $4 million Chamber of Mines donation. They say that when a blind man says he'll stone you, then he definitely has his legs on one. So if the Lands Minister says that he's dissatisfied with $4 million from the Chamber of Mines, then I guess he knows what he's talking about.
What if the stone is already in the blind man's pocket?
Well, wherever it is, there's access to it.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's move on to more stories.
So finally, the Business Finder, and wow, it's been a while. I had this one constituency, $1 million initiative. So 162 million Ghana cedis invested into 147 projects in coastal regions. The story is on page 2 of the Business Finder. Okay, $4.5 billion world project kicks off to support Ghana's recovery agenda. That's good to know. Yeah, that's it for the Business Finder.
Well, awesome. And that headline, probably let's move on to other stories here. Edujan calls for peaceful coexistence. This is the Daily Statesman newspaper. Inclusive growth agenda on course as government completes 129 projects through Koda. The youth volunteer program also expanded. And lastly, Sanitation Minister warns illegal sand winners as well. That story is on page 2 here of the Daily Statesman. Well, it's a wrap for me as well, in fact.
Yes, it is a wrap for me as well.